Too long, we never really knew what was on the inside of us, so we looked to the outside to find life. You know, you can look out there right now, guys. I mean, you can see what's going on out there in the world right now. I mean, you can see all the things, you know, because this world really, it's very problematic, okay? It just seems like there's problems just going on everywhere, from the White House to the crack house, come on, to the addicts. You know, you know, and there's a lot of problems out there. There's hunger out there in the world. People are just going hungry. There's homelessness out there. People are just homeless. There's problems out there. There's people, you know, there's gang violence going on out there. There's physical abuse going on out there. There are people, I mean, there's drug addictions going on out there. There is politics that are just corrupt and crazy going on out there. There's a whole lot of things. People shooting places, people, different things of that nature. You can just look out there. You can look it up on Facebook, on your news, and you see all the problems that are out there. And watch this, because those problems out there, that world has solutions, but they're not solutions like we're supposed to have, because they're only looking exteriorly. They're not looking interiorly. See, we are designed to live from the inside out. You want to know, honestly, the reasons why we have all those problems? Because people are on this earth. A lot of times we want to blame the devil. But the devil is like, he can't make you do something, but he can cause you to have an idea of some sort. He can work through your emotions. You start to hate. You start to be jealous. You start to be envious. You start to be hateful. You start to be spiteful. You outbursts of anger. You know, all these ugly things. And really, it's us, the human person, because we're living from the outside. Well, they are, not us, but they are living from the outside in, not from the inside out. See, our solution is the Holy Spirit, Jesus on the inside of us. He leads us and guides us. He knows how to get us around lions who are supposed to eat us up, but keep them still. He knows how to get us in front of a giant situation and be able to overcome it. Come on. He knows how to get us out of a boat to walk on water, just like Jesus. Come on, somebody. He knows how to teach you how to love your enemies and not fight back. He knows how to get you to pray for those that persecute you instead of you wanting to pow, shazam, and bam, and all this other Batman stuff. Because listen, when you're out there in the world, that is their solution. The husband and the wife. The wife doesn't want to listen to her husband, so the husband has a solution. But it's not the same like we have. We're supposed to love them and pray for them and be gentle with them and have understanding and have grace and love them. But the world solution is to beat them up. Because you don't do what I tell you to do. You don't know what else to do. That's the solution you have. You know what? My wife left me, so then you get to drug addictions. And you start using that. That's a solution for people who live from the outside in. But not for people who live from the inside out. We're going to have insight this year. So it's very funny how, like, some people may say, well, because I remember when I was lost, I had a gentleman, and he told me one time, because, you know, I used to kind of be, I used to be addicted to things. And one time this guy said to me, he says, you know what your problem is? He said, that's a spiritual issue. You just can't quit on your own. You're not going to be able to do it. And I didn't understand what he was talking about. Spiritual issue? What is that? No, it's not. I just like to do these things. And he said, no, that's a spiritual issue. Something can be done about that. It doesn't require a 12-step program. It doesn't require a counseling. It doesn't require none of that. You just need Jesus in your life. I was like, nah, I don't want no Jesus in my life. But it was so ironic that the day I met Jesus and I said yes to him, that appetite and that desire for that extracurricular activity left me. Wow. Isn't that crazy? Why? Because it's a spiritual issue. You know, a lot of these things that people think, you know, because nowadays, and I was saying this to people, to somebody the other day, I said, you know, it feels like we're so desensitized to all these crazy things that are going out there. We start thinking that that's just the way life is. That's just the way that person is. You know, that's just them. They've always been like that. You'll never change them, but that's not true. They have it the other way around. They don't have insight to the inside of them. They just have eyesight and not insight. And this year, here's the deal. He's going to show up so powerful inside of us, we're going to know exactly how to conversate with these people that need help, but they don't know it. Our conversations are going to be so powerful and filled with God's Spirit. It's going to be amazing and incredible. You know, I remember one day, guys, I went to go visit a doctor. He was my doctor. I went to go visit him. I had just got saved. And, I learned some things about the Bible. And he was telling me, he says, you know, man, he goes, what you need to start doing, man, is you need to start taking care of your body. You need to start taking care of your weight and this and that. And he says, man, I get tired of all these people telling me that they're the temple of the Holy Spirit and they don't take care of their bodies. So that's what he told me. Because back then, you know, he was telling me that I needed to take care of my health. And then I said, yeah, well, I believe that. I am the temple of the Holy Spirit. And when I said that to him, this doctor jumped on top of his desk. Like this. And he started talking down to me like this. He said, you ain't no good, and y'all worthless, and you ain't worth this and that. And they started cussing me out. Just because I told him I am the temple of the Holy Spirit. And he jumped up. I'm serious. Like it was just like a one from the floor down to the table like a dog or something. Or boom. And he did this. He started yelling at me, cussing me out. You know what I told him? I said, your father is of the devil. And then he got louder. He said, oh. I just walked out of that room, and this guy, watch this, and all his patients were sitting out there in the waiting room. This guy goes out there, and as loud as he can say, this, and he used some colorful words, but we're not going to use them in here tonight. He said, this guy, he called me that my father is of the devil, and that this and that. Can you believe this guy? Get him out of here. He didn't even give me my prescription or nothing. I said, well, can I at least have an antibiotic? He said, you ain't getting nothing. Get out of my office. I said, wow. I never experienced anything like that. But I stayed calm. I was like, man, this guy's nuts. He's crazy. But then he died not too long after that. Praise the Lord. So I'm not saying that I did that. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that happened to him, though. But, you know, I'm just telling you this, guys. Listen. This stuff will happen because there are people that are living from the outside in. They think they got the solutions and they got the answer, but they really don't. We do. Somebody with a hand clap right there. Come on, somebody. Amen. We do. We got the answer. We got the solution. The Holy Spirit on the inside of us. And it's time this year that we get in tune with what he has to say. And the way we're going to get in tune with him is we start feeling and going by that nudge on the inside of you that's trying to tell you, don't do that. Watch out for them. Watch out for him. Don't get around them. Don't do business with them. Don't take that job. Take that job. Hey, watch out for this, watch out for that. Don't let your kids watch that. Don't let your kids watch this. Don't trust that they're going to be watching cartoons. You know they're going to be on YouTube. Watching all these weird things, trying to make bombs. You know, it's so like, are you with me tonight? God's going to give you insight this year, man. Eloy's going to give you some insight, bro. He's going to say, man, you need whatever. But I am speaking that to each and every one of you. I am praying that God this year will give you the insight that you need. Because some of you in here, last year, you went through some things, you didn't know what to do. But you always had the answer on the inside. It's just that we didn't talk about it. But this year we are. We're going to talk about this. Because here God says in Romans chapter 12, it says that there is a way that we ought to be transformed. There is a way that we ought to be transformed. And that's by renewing our minds. Renewing our minds to what? Renewing our minds that we are to have insight, to live from the inside out, not from the outside in. From the inside out. See, God knows exactly, He knows exactly what He needs to do with you. He put Himself inside you purposely. And it's not just for nothing. It's not, Sister Melissa, so that you can say, I got Jesus. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I gave my life to Jesus and I'm saved now. Everything's pretty. No, trying to sound like what is it, the gingerbread man? Everything's okay now. I love Jesus. Everything's pretty. No. He put Himself inside you because there's some stuff that's going to try to come against you out there in this world. Some giants, some enemies, some problems, situations, circumstances, some battles. This is how I fight my battles. Anyways, this is going to be one amazing year if you choose to follow that. This year is going to be amazing for you guys. You don't have to go through all that pain. You don't have to go through all that hurt. You don't have to go through all that neglect. You don't have to go through all that frustration. You don't. You really, really don't. Get the insight on the inside of you that already lets you know, oh yeah, something's about to come up. And prepare your mind. God will always prepare you before something shows up. He'll always tell you something on the inside. And you know what the bad part about it is that sometimes once we get to that point and then bad things happen, it's funny how we always say, I knew I shouldn't have done it. Right? You know what that was? That was God trying to tell you, don't do that. I knew I shouldn't have done it. How many times you said that, G? You ever said that? Yeah, all the time, right, Jay? Right now, like you're yawning, you probably shouldn't have done that. But see, you know what I'm saying? I just kidding. So, this year, we're going to know. Because we got a knower on the inside of us. We got a knower. Children, you got a knower on the inside of you. God's going to speak to you guys too. You're going to know what to do. Teenagers, you're going to know what to do. Young adults in this house, you're going to know what to do. Well, we'll stop with the young adults because all of us are young adults, right? I like what Galatians 2:20 says. It says, my old self has been crucified with Christ. It is no longer I who live, but Christ who lives in me. I didn't give them this one, but in the Passion Translation, it says this. My new life is empowered by the faith of the Son of God, who loves me so much that He gave Himself for me and dispenses His life into mine. He dispenses His life into mine. Okay, think about that for just a quick second. We're fixing to get out of here. He dispenses His life into mine. The other day, we had an opportunity to do a funeral, and we ended up staying at a hotel there in Big Spring. And they had like this. They had like because I'm not eating sugar or nothing, but they had like cornflakes and Fruit Loops and it was one of those dispensers. So I had that little bowl, why they give you a little bowl? They give you a big old bowl, but then they give you a little styrofoam bowl. So I put it under there, and then I pulled out the cornflakes, and I barely just opened it, barely, just like this, and it said, all over everywhere. I was like, oh my gosh. Everybody just looking at me. I said, man, that thing dispensed cornflakes into my bowl. That's what it is, a dispenser. This is what Jesus said in that scripture. He says, I dispense myself into you. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Man, watch this. How many of you here know that Jesus knows what he's doing? Do you believe that? Do you believe that, Daisy? Jesus knows what he's doing. Okay, and Jesus, it is not I who lives, but Christ who lives in me. He is your insight. He knows all things. He knows how to get through things. And he's on the inside of you. Come on, somebody. It's time for us to start talking to Jesus just a little bit more. This year, talk to Jesus as often as you can. They're going to be like, Amanda, who you talking to? Oh, I'm talking to Jesus. Oh, okay. What did he say? He said, for you to get away from me. All right. No. Did y'all get that tonight? I just want to pour that into you guys tonight. We are going to live our lives from the inside out this year, no matter what, and God's going to give us the insight that we absolutely need. Listen to that nudge. Listen to that intuition you have. Listen to your knower. He knows. Amen. Let's stand to our feet.